Okay, I'm going to do another round of angle pairs, and this is just a refresh. This is very important. Walk into the test knowing this stuff. Basic definitions here. We're going to look at corresponding alternate exterior, same side interior angles. And real quick, we're going to take a look at this first. And corresponding just means that they're in the same position. Now look at this. We have a transversal. Remember, a transversal is a line that has to cross at least two other lines. So A is a transversal. C is not. B is not because they don't cross two lines. So transversal A has some angles here and some angles here that form when they cross these lines. So this group right here corresponds with this group. And each angle is in a similar position. Notice how this is in the upper left part on the same side of this line. Well, this is on the upper left part of the same side as well. So what we're going to do is identify the corresponding. 5 and 1 correspond. 6 and 2 correspond. So 5 and 1, 6 and 2, 7 and 3, and 8 and 4 all correspond. All right, moving on, we're going to take a look at alternate interior. So alternate interior, interior means on the inside part. This right here is in between these two angles. So we're looking at this right here. Alternate means, well, on the other side. So when we look at the first set of angle pairs, we're going to go over here. We got to look on the inside here. And this 5 is on the inside. It is alternate to this guy. So 5 and 4 and 6 and 3 are alternate interiors. Next one up, alternate exterior. And exterior means on the outside. So right out here is the exterior, out here is the exterior. Alternate means you're going to be on the opposite sides of this line. So 7 and 2 are alternate exteriors. 7 and 2 and 8 and 1 are alternate exterior. Same side interior, we're going right back to the interior right here. This is the interior. Same side means it's going to be on the same side. So 6 and 4 and 5 and 3 are the same side interior. Let's look at a more complex problem. Look, we have 4 lines here. We only have one transversal at a time. A transversal crosses 2 lines. Well, if I look at A and call that a transversal, it's crossing C and D. So when we have corresponding angles, they have to be in the same kind of position. They would correspond. Like for instance, if I were to do this and take a little snapshot of this right here, I could put this right over this position. See how the 1 corresponds with the 5, the 2 corresponds with the 2, and so on? They correspond. So it depends on the transversal. So very often we're going to have to say, what transversal are we working with? Well, we have to say transversal A. That has to be identified before we can start listing corresponding angles, or we don't know what we're talking about. It's like saying I'm going to go down Main Street. Well, what city are you talking about? Flower Mound, Capel? I don't know. One of them. So we're going to have transversal A, and we have 5 and 1, 6 and 2, 7 and 3, and so on. Those are corresponding angles. But we also have other transversals. I could say transversal C, and I'm going to try and wrap this up soon. Here's transversal C. Crosses these 2 lines. That means we're looking at this group right here. And if I say corresponding angles, it would be 15 and 7, and so on. If I had said transversal D, I would say 12 and 4, and so on. And the same would hold true if we're going to look at alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles. I could pick any transversal, A, B, C, D, so let's do B. I need to identify the transversal. Super important. Often on a test or quiz, you're going to see 2 lines. One will be for transversal, one will be for the angle pair. So alternate interior, I have to look on the inside of transversal B, we have 13 and 11. 13 and 11. Trying to wrap this up. Alternate exterior angles. Let's take a look at transversal C. Transversal C. And let's just pick one. Exterior has to be on the outside. Here we are, 16 and 5. Same side interior. Let's go with transversal D. So I would write transversal D because, again, you just can't pick two numbers without understanding the transversal. And same side interior has to be on the same side. So these guys are on the same side. They're on the interior of this. And it'd be 11 and 4. Also, 9 and 2 are on the interior. Don't think of this as the interior. This whole thing in between these two lines are the interior. So 9 and 2. Alrighty, that wraps it up. I went a minute over, but that is okay. One last thing, since I'm taking up more time, is I was at Flower Mound last night at the stadium. I didn't go in. I didn't have a ticket. I was there for the volleyball game. I was wearing my Capel shirt. I can't tell you how many people came up. It was very touching, and it's good to live in this community. Flower Mound came together with Capel, and we're basically all one team that day. All right. See you on the next lesson.